Most cat owners pet their cats wrong, approach them wrong, and set up their homes wrong. Not because they don't love their cats, but because nobody taught them what decades of research actually shows about feline behavior. These are 7 things cats genuinely love, backed by peer-reviewed science, that the majority of owners simply don't do. Some of what you're about to hear will contradict everything you thought you knew about your cat. Dr. Dennis Turner spent years studying cat-human interactions across 158 households, and what he found changed our understanding of feline bonding entirely. When cats initiated a higher proportion of interactions with their owners, the total interaction time grew significantly longer. But here's the thing. When humans succeeded more often at initiating contact, those interactions actually got shorter. Turner put it this way: it is the cat that determines how long the interaction lasts. Earlier research by Mertens and Turner, published in the journal Anthrozoas, examined what happens when cats meet unfamiliar humans for the first time. People who simply sat reading without actively approaching got neutral responses from the cats. Children who immediately walked toward the cats triggered a completely different reaction, and the cats fled from them, even though these animals had been raised around people and socialized from birth. A clear pattern emerged from the data. Women and girls who moved to floor level and simply waited achieved far better outcomes than anyone who approached directly. And that's when the 2020 Slow Blink study added experimental evidence to back this up, showing cats had significantly higher approach scores after humans slow blinked at them compared to neutral conditions. Stop trying so hard if you want longer, more meaningful interactions with your cat. Sit down, look away, and let them come to you. A cat that chooses you is a cat that stays. Once your cat does approach, where you touch them matters more than you'd expect. Researchers at the University of Lincoln ran a definitive study on cat petting preferences, with Dr. Sarah Ellis and her team testing 36 cats in one experiment and 20 in another. They measured responses to petting different body regions, and the results left no room for interpretation. Cats showed the most positive responses when petted on the temporal region, the area between the eyes and ears, including the cheeks. The most negative responses came from petting the base of the tail. That full head-to-tail stroke that feels so natural to us, cats consistently disliked it. What surprised even the researchers came next. Cats actually displayed more negative behaviors when their owners stroked them compared to when strangers did the same thing. The theory is that owners touch less preferred areas more frequently because they feel comfortable enough to do so. Dr. Ellis points to something telling about why the face matters so much to cats. Those slightly thinner patches of fur in front of their ears mark where major scent glands sit. 5 distinct facial pheromones have been scientifically identified in cats, with the F4 pheromone deposited during social situations to indicate familiarity, and the F3 used to mark safe areas. When a cat lets you near those facial scent glands, they're including you in their social world. Most homes cater to dogs. Everything happens on the floor, from couches to beds to toys to food bowls. Cats aren't floor dwellers by nature, though. They're climbers. The American Association of Feline Practitioners and the International Society of Feline Medicine established environmental guidelines that list vertical territory as one of the 5 essential pillars of cat welfare. Access to elevated areas allows cats to monitor their environment, and domestic cats naturally climb for observation and safety because of their evolutionary heritage as both predator and prey. Whether adding height actually changes behavior became the focus of research by Deforge, Moesta, and Farnworth. When they introduced vertical shelving to cat environments, aggressive behaviors dropped significantly. The remarkable part came when they removed the vertical structures, because aggression didn't just return to baseline, it climbed above where it started. The researchers called this a rebound effect, suggesting cats experience genuine distress from losing a valued resource they'd come to depend on. Related research on hiding spaces revealed that cats with access to hiding boxes recovered from stress 4 to 7 days faster than cats without them. Dr. Tony Buffington from Ohio State, who has studied cats for over 30 years, frames it simply. If we are going to assert the authority to confine animals, then we have to accept the responsibility of doing it in as enriched a way as possible. 1 to 3 meters of social distance, both horizontally and vertically, is what the guidelines recommend for multi-cat households. Without that vertical dimension, competition and conflict increase. You've probably seen your cat staring out the window for extended periods, and this behavior serves a real purpose. A study published in the Journal of Applied Animal Welfare Science surveyed 577 cats and found 84.3% of them regularly looked out windows. Approximately 2 hours per day was the median observation time. Cats watched 14 different categories of outdoor stimuli, including birds, wildlife, foliage, other cats, and people moving past their territory. The Ohio State Indoor Pet Initiative specifically recommends window perches for wildlife observation as essential enrichment for indoor cats, treating visual stimulation as a core component of their environmental needs. That chattering sound cats make when watching birds has sparked plenty of theories over the years, from frustration to hunting rehearsal to prey mimicry. What the science actually says is that we don't know the cause. No peer-reviewed study has definitively explained why domestic cats chatter, which means the theories remain unverified despite being interesting to consider. Window watching provides documented mental stimulation for indoor cats, and that much we can say with confidence. If your cat has a favorite window, adding a perch ranks among the simplest enrichment options available. Cats live in a world of smell that we can barely comprehend, and they use scent to define their social relationships in ways we're only beginning to understand. Research by Crowell Davis and colleagues documented that cats within social groups develop what they called a colony odor through mutual rubbing. The existence of allo-rubbing, combined with how frequently cats sniff each other, suggests they're actively maintaining a shared scent identity that defines who belongs and who doesn't. 83% of cats rubbed on their human companions after being separated from them, according to a 2021 study. That behavior isn't random affection, it's scent-based reunion behavior driven by biology. Research from 2024 confirmed that cats use smell to distinguish familiar individuals from strangers by measuring how long cats spent sniffing different human odors. Unfamiliar human scents held their attention longer than their owner's scent, demonstrating active olfactory recognition at work. Experts commonly recommend scent swapping when introducing cats to new environments or to each other, which involves exchanging bedding, rubbing cloths on facial scent glands, and transferring familiar smells to unfamiliar objects. These specific techniques haven't been tested in controlled studies, but the underlying science of feline scent communication has been well established through years of research. A persistent myth holds that cats are completely independent and don't care when their owners leave. But the research tells a different story entirely. A study of 223 cats from 130 Brazilian households found that 13.5% displayed at least one separation-related problem. Among affected cats, the numbers break down to 66.7% showing destructive behavior, 63.3% vocalizing excessively, and 60% urinating inappropriately. Risk factors included having no toys and being the only pet in the household. Dr. Kristen Vitale at Oregon State applied attachment testing, the same methodology used to study human infants, to 108 cats and kittens. The results showed 64.3% of kittens and 65.8% of adult cats demonstrating secure attachment to their owners, which is remarkably similar to the 65% secure attachment rate found in human children. Vitale described the dynamic this way. When cats live in a state of dependency with a human, that attachment behavior is flexible, and the majority of cats use humans as a source of comfort. I should be direct about something here. Cat separation distress has been scientifically documented, but the specific recommendation of having departure routines hasn't been tested in controlled studies with cats. That advice represents expert consensus based on general behavioral principles rather than peer-reviewed evidence specific to felines. Your cat notices when you leave, and what we're less certain about is exactly how to minimize that stress. Adult cats sleep 12 to 16 hours daily. Kittens can reach up to 20, and unlike humans, cats cycle through multiple short sleep periods throughout the day, with naps averaging around 78 minutes each. Cats Protection UK notes that cats rotate their preferred sleeping spots and recommends providing multiple options around the house for this reason. The rotation serves several purposes inherited from wild ancestors, including avoiding predators by staying unpredictable, regulating body temperature, and scent marking territory. A 2025 study analyzing 301 cats found that 63.8% prefer sleeping on their left side, and the researchers believe this keeps their left visual field unobstructed for detecting potential threats even while resting. And this is where everything comes together. Researchers at the universities of Sussex and Portsmouth published a study on slow blinking in scientific reports in 2020, using facial coding systems across 2 experiments with 45 cats total. When humans slow blinked at cats, the cat's eye narrowing increased significantly, their half-blink rate went up, and their likelihood of approaching the human increased as well. Professor Karen McComb offered this advice. Try narrowing your eyes at them as you would in a relaxed smile, followed by closing your eyes for a couple of seconds. You'll find they respond in the same way themselves. One note worth mentioning here. You'll often hear slow blinking described as the cat saying, "I love you," but that's an overstatement of what the research actually found. The study describes it as positive emotional communication and a signal of non-threat, which is meaningful without putting words in their mouths. 7 things cats genuinely love, verified by peer-reviewed research. Let them approach you. Pet their faces, not their tails. Give them vertical space. Let them watch the world through windows. Use scent to build your bond. Recognize that they notice when you leave. Respect their sleep choices while learning to communicate through slow blinks. Control connects all of these behaviors together. Cats thrive when they have agency over their environment and their interactions, and the science consistently shows that when you give cats choices, they choose to connect with you. That's not a myth. That's what the research actually says. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.